Hey everyone, Ash from the Little Apiary Company here. A couple of days after Christmas, and I've got a few more days, or 2 more days, to work on the honey house. So I'm going to try and get a bit more done, and I thought I'd just capture where we get to, what I'm going to be up to. I'm going to try and set a little bit more realistic deadlines than we did for the first video, because things took a lot longer than we thought. But no Dad today, so just me. Trying to get some of the outside cladding done is what I want to get sorted today. So front doors, what I'd like to get done is get these all secure properly. All I have at the moment is this padlock in the middle. I need to get the chute bolts done, put some handles on, some latches so I can open them and hold them open, and I want to get the cladding done down the outside to secure it all in, seal it all in, and I've got to do that both sides. One of the problems that me and my dad found was that, like everything with my house, there's not a single right angle anywhere in the original build, so everything has to be sort of cut to size individually. Everything takes a little bit longer than it should, but there you go. So that's what I want to get done at the front. If I get this done, then I'll have a look at the stuff on the back, because that also needs cladding and needs some guttering put up. So I'll show you that if I manage to get that far. Alright, so this is the door that I need to get bolts on the back, and I really screwed it up first time round. So I put it on there, and I don't know how well the light's going to show, but essentially that bolt is far too close to the edge. And you may be able to see just there, if I can get the light right, get out my own light. The hole ended up far too close, so it's going to have to be filled. So what I need to do is sort of pack this out a bit with a piece of timber, so the bolt's actually in the meat of this wood here, and trying to centre it, and then do the same at the bottom down there, so this door is locked from the inside, and then that door shuts against it and locks against this door. That's the plan. So I've just got to cut some pieces timber to match the size of that bolt. Right, bolts top and bottom in there, and I also have a bolt at the bottom there. I've got the handles on now as well. So next is to fill in all these sides, and to do that I'm going to use this sheets of tongue and groove, which we'll cut the size, clad all the way down the front. This bottom corner I need to put another post in, or section in, and then behind all of that will be a whole load of insulation, and then we'll board the other side. Well, at least we'll get the front secured completely. Okay, I'm losing the light, so I'm going to finish it up there, but the doors are now secure and tongue and grooved, all this gapping all done. Got the two locks on, there's a handle on there as well now, and inside here just put on a little hook, hold the door open, and the handles are done. Still got to sort out these two screws here because they're too long, so I've got to put a piece of timber behind, and it's the same with this top hinge as well. These two screws, they go out about here, so they don't go into any. This timber's quite thin, so I'm going to have to put a block here just for those two screws. But you can actually see, I don't know if you can, if the camera's picking that up, there's a screw that's come through there, so I'm going to have to redo that one as well. And that's it for today. Tomorrow I'm going to sort out the back and the guttering, and we'll see how far we get. Day 2, and this is the section that I now need to work on while it's dry and relatively warm. I think it's about 7 degrees or something according to the thermometer. So this is the back wall that we framed in. It's got boards over it and everything, so I want to get that covered up with some more of that tongue and groove board I've used on the front. It also needs a gutter put in to go through, and I've got to tidy up that section of felt as well, make sure there's no damp getting in there. So this has never really had a proper gutter on it. Well, it's had that. It didn't really do anything. There was this old length of gutter, but it was all sort of hanging off and everything else. And you can see, I don't know if you can really see, but it's washed all the point work out where the water's been coming out that gutter. So I've got a new length of pipe to go in, and I've got some more clips so it's properly secured to the wall, and then I've got an angled spout to go out, because it's all supposed to drop down into this channel here and head down that drain hole there, which I need to rod out as well by the looks of it, because that looks like it's blocked. And then all of this point work along the bricks, I need to get that repointed at some point, and that's not going to be today because I've got to mix up some muck for that. So that's the plan for today. I can't really get a lot of footage, I'm hoping, because basically where I need to put the camera is where I have to keep walking back and forward, because it's quite tight here and right next to any other shed, just sort of tucked around the corner. So I'll probably just get on with this and show you what's happened at the end, and then all the other work's going to be inside, so I'm hoping to get a little bit more done inside today as well, if this job here plans out well enough, but we'll see how it goes. And it is all done. Boarding's on, guttering, and the downpipe going all the way down, and the spout comes out there. So I'm losing the light now. It is also getting pretty cold, so I'm going to go and have some dinner. But there we go, all boarded up. Still needs sealing. Still got to fix that corner there of the felt, tidy everything up. But that's me done for the day. So we'll move on now to the inside. Another day of work on the honey house. It is the 1st of January. Happy New Year, everyone. And it's cold. It is so cold. It's about 5 degrees according to my little garden thermometer, which is yeah, makes the fingers hurt. I tell you, once you've been out here a while. It's also storing me up some big problems later on with honey and extraction, and I'll show you why. All my kit has been moved in here, out the kitchen. I've been chucked out the house by my good wife, certainly for Christmas. We got boxes of honey that still need extracting. I got buckets of honey that have been extracted. In this cold weather they are going to have set solid, so it is going to be an absolute mission to get all this done, but it is what it is. I'm cracking on with everything in here as fast as I can. So today's job is to get battens all up and down the wall, and I'm going to do this wall first because it's the easiest. That wall, I'll show you when we get to it, but it's got a big gas pipe that runs along it, water pipes behind that tank that I've got to work around and everything. So this wall is going to be the first one to get done, because I need to start clearing the mess in my front garden, which again I'm getting stern words from the other half about. So we start reducing that pile, and the best thing I can do with that is start putting timbers up on this wall. So I'll clear all this away. Got my chop saw set up outside, and I'll show you how I'm attaching these battens to the wall. Okay, so this is how I'm doing it. I've cut my 4x2 up there, and these are going to be matched up with the centres of the joists running across the ceiling, and drill some holes all the way through. And what I'm going to be using are these frame fixings. So I've got to drill a hole into the brick, and then these things just hammer in through the wood, fix it to the wall. Also got to make sure all that damp proof membrane is pulled up tight behind the woodwork there. It's a bit ruffled, but it's as best as I can get it really. This outside wall, it doesn't get damp because it's only about 6 inches, if that, from the neighbouring wall, so no real rain gets down there anyway. So, and then I've just got to do that all the way along there. So I'll set you up and I'll get drilling. Right, there we go, first one in, all done, nice and straight on the bubble. So let's say it's going to match each of those. So all I've got to do now is just rinse and repeat for the rest of the wall. Well, that's the first half of this wall done, all in, and since we're halfway through, it means time for one of those, because I am English after all, and therefore will drink tea all day. I had a real panic this morning because I made my morning cuppa and I realised that I only had one tea bag left, so I had to shoot down the shops double quick. So what have we done? 4x2s all along here, and in the corners put these 2x2s so that when I put the boards on, I've got something to screw into. And then down here for the next stage, this will all be 2x2s. And the reason these are 4x2s will become apparent later on in the build. So keep an eye out to see why we're using a bit of extra strength up this end. It's warmed up a bit though, so we're having a cup of tea, crack on with the next section. So that is this side all done now. That's all the battening's done. So next thing to do is cut all of the foam board, insulation board, and get that put in between all of these battens. So next job, working into the afternoon now. I'll just stop for a bit of lunch and a bit of a try and get warmed back up. So try and get another couple of hours done before I lose all the light completely. Well, it's not too bad because I do have a light inside here for the moment. So yeah, insulation next. That'll do me for the day. So that's all the battening in, all that Celotex is in. I mean, the boards aren't tall enough to go to the top, so I'll have to fill those sections in, but I may just use expanding foam to fill in all the gaps. But all the way down, I mean there's gaps everywhere at the top. It's all in nice and snug. So that's one wall all insulated and ready for the plywood to go. Okay, this is going to be the last day for this video. I've got plenty of footage I think from the last few days. So a bit of a change of plan. I'm up on the roof, this is a job I've been sort of avoiding. I must admit, one because it's up on the roof, two because it's blooming cold. But snow's forecast for tomorrow. It's currently 2 degrees out here. It's absolutely freezing. But I do have a slight problem with my roof, which I will give you a look at now.
Okay, so as you can see, my roof has some missing bits. No ridge tiles, and there's a missing tile there that needs replacing. So today I've got to install all of that to make sure this bit's watertight before the snow comes tomorrow. I think once the snow sets in there, it'll just melt and it'll just drip inside and damage everything we've done inside. So it's bright and sunny, and as the saying goes, fix the roof while the sun is shining. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I've never fitted one of these dry ridge systems before, so this will be a learning experience for me, and you can watch how not to do it, I guess. I've had a few looks on YouTube and watched a few videos to see how people do it all, but yeah, that is going to be fun. So I'll set you up and try and work out what it is I'm going to do. Right, apologies for the light, but this is already turning out to be a pain in the backside, as always, everything with this house is. But because this is not a standard ridge, you see we've got tiled section here, and then it's essentially a flat roof running down there. So the angle's very shallow. So when I put the ridge tile on over, these brackets that we're supposed to screw into the ridge beam, which is directly underneath that bracket, and that bracket's then supposed to hold the batten, but it's too tall. So I don't know whether I just screw the batten straight onto the ridge beam underneath, or I try and screw these in and then maybe bend them over once I put the batten in place. But the batten's essentially going to be sat straight on top of the ridge beam anyway, and then the screws will go straight in, because if I take that out, try not to drop the tile and break it. You can see there, I've got literally a thumb's width. So by the time I put the batten in, there is not going to be a lot of space under there anyway, and the screw's going to go straight in. So I think I'm going to lay the batten across and then just screw straight into that, and that'll all be secured to the ridge beam, which is literally there. So I think that's going to be the plan, because there's no batten, there's no sort of joist to attach anything to. It's literally just a beam here, and then there's some battens that run across here that the tiles sit on, but it's not a standard roof. So that's how I'm gonna start. We'll put a batten right along the edge of the ridge beam that this sits on. Right, that's got the batten on, so the next job is this dusty layer, this layer here, which has got some sticky tape underneath. It goes over the ridge, go further than that. Let's weight it down now. I tell you, there has not been a breath of wind while I've been up here doing this, until the moment I got this stuff out, and then immediately I get a gale blowing through and blowing everything everywhere, which is just typical. But essentially, this goes over the ridge. It's going to go a bit further down. Dusted all of this off with a stiff brush, make sure there's no bits and pieces stuck on there. But this, sorry for the bad camera work, sort of sticks over like that, over the ridge. Then I put the tiles on top, and they get screwed down. So that's the next job, and then we'll be able to put the tiles on. Right, went not too bad. I mean, it's a little bit skew with, but it actually stuck down really well, so it's quite good stuff. Didn't have any trouble with it sticking in. It's covered the whole gap over, so it should be good underneath those tiles. So now I've just got to get the tiles and screw them on. Right, now this is probably not how we're supposed to do it, but there you go, that's how I've had to do it. So the ridge is actually here, but because of the way this roof's built, the tile's not centre, the ridge tile is not centre over the ridge. So you've got these black plastic clips which clip the tile in, and then I've screwed through that in here instead of it going through there onto the ridge. And then the next tile slides in to there, tie up, and I put the next one on. I apologise again to any roofers watching as I butcher your craft, but this is the best way that I can see of doing it with the way this roof's constructed. So that's annoying, isn't it? About, I don't know, 50mm short of the edge. So I think I'm going to have to cut a tile to fit in there on the end, and I don't quite know how I'll have to drill a hole in it as well to screw it in, the last one. But the rest is all in, doesn't seem to be going anywhere, all held fast, so it's certainly not blowing off anytime soon. So that's the worst of it. So I'll get the grinder out and cut one more little section there. Oh, that's the last bit. That was a bit nerve-wracking, that one. So I've cut that. I had to cut that sort of short, and then I had to cut that section out as well to go over the edge of the roof there, and drill a little hole there to screw it in. And that's the ridge line done. So now the last job I've got is I've got to run the flashing along there. It's getting really cold now, and I've only got about probably an hour's left of light, and I've got some sealant to run around that sort of edge in there. It's got to be sealed up as well. So onwards and upwards. Right, that is hopefully the last time I have to get on this roof for quite some time. Well, apart from putting some expanding foam in that joint at the end of that cap. But we have all of the ridge on. I also found these little metal caps as well. Forgot about those. So those have gone in along each joint, so it's all screwed down, really secure, it's not going anywhere. All the way along I've used this self-adhesing flashing tape, which goes along, sticks really well. So that's all sealed up. There's also a layer of roofing sealant that went down between the timber and the wall as well, and then the felt's gone on top, and then this flashing tape. So that is me finished with the roof. It's all getting very dark here, so I'm going to get inside. Well, it's good to be back inside. That was very cold. If you've lasted to the end of this video, well, hats off to you, really, and thank you so much. I hope it's been interesting. I'm never sure what people really actually want to see documented and not. So this is just part of what I've got to do to get my my enterprise expanded and everything else. So I just thought I'd document the whole building process and what I'm doing. As I've said before, I'm not a builder. This is not how to do anything. This is not how to. Do not do whatever I'm doing, because most of it is probably wrong. And if you have seen something wrong, please let me know in the comments below. In terms of the channel, what's coming up next? Next video will have bees. I really hope it does, because I've got the oxalic acid treatment coming out. So next weekend I'm out, check all the hives, see how they're doing, and give them the oxalic acid trickle treatment to carry on knocking down any last varroa that are on there. So I really hope there's some bees there, because if there's no bees there, then I'm in real trouble next year. So I'll obviously get all footage of that and show you how things are going. So it'll be good to see some bees back on the channel. So please, if you haven't subscribed yet, we actually hit 101 subscribers, which is just astonishing. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the button, hit the like button if you've enjoyed this content. And for the next video in this particular series, I'm going to get all panelling done on this wall, continue battering out and getting all the insulation in, and then it'll be paneling the roof and everything. And next after that, got to get all soffit boarding, plastic soffit boarding down the walls to make sure they're all washproof and everything else. So that's next for this series. For the next one in the channel, we'll show some bees. So if you want to see bees, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and I'm going to notify you when that video comes out. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.